Check.
We rolling.
Let's get it.
Down the block.
Picture me
4D. Yo, what's blapping? What's blapping? Don the Blapped is here, 1/3 of the Watch Me Develop podcast.
1/3.
Sitting right here with the other 2/3 to the right of me.
Yeah.
Not in spite of me. Got my brother cousin, John Butcher Jr. What up, baby?
Do you just stay up all night and write these, or like how does that work?
Man, it just pops in my head and I say it.
He's an MC, bro. He's an MC.
Straight up, MC.
Straight up.
To the left of me, always fresh to death. The barber of the Bay,
Hey.
the inventor of Ergo Dog, the super Ergo leash, ergonomic, great for all of you guys out there with big dogs that like the pool.
Tap in.
You feel me? And make sure that you bring the bag so you can scoop up the stool. I got my boy,
Dang.
Stephen Joshua Bonds.
Me.
3/3, 1 whole of Watch Me Develop podcast.
That's hilarious.
What up, man?
What's up, brother? What's up?
Hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Those of you guys that are here locked in for this episode, man, we got a special episode for you today.
Especial.
A real good show.
A dang good.
Because we got a guest. We got a guest, right?
A whole guest.
A whole guest, right? A whole guest. We got a whole guest who's made a quest down the road to come see us here in the good 94585
Oh yeah, brother.
on the WMD podcast. For the first time ever, we got none other than Mr. Patrick Greene.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor. You just, bro, like after we just laid on all the sauce, you just going, it's very sad.
It's an absolute honor.
Facts.
No, this is dope. Which number is it? How many?
Shoot, man, I don't know
What episode?
is this?
I think at this point it's 50 plus.
50 plus?
Yeah.
We'll say 55.
Yeah.
55.
Title will be episode 55.
Yeah, whether it is or not, it don't matter.
Facts.
That's hilarious.
Nah, yeah, dope. It's we've been actually wanting to have you on a podcast for a minute past, so it is dope to have you here.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. Nah, I remember y'all first episode, and I just love, like I said, I love the name, Watch Me Develop. I just love the whole idea behind it. Y'all killing for real.
Thanks, man.
Right on, man.
Real talk. And I do want to comment, everybody, which is my camera, which one?
That one.
Okay, which one? You just pointed at you.
That one.
Literally that one over there. All right, so look, I want to let everybody know the production value is crazy. I said which camera, and he pointed in a direction with multiple cameras.
Facts.
Production value is crazy high.
Appreciate it.
And I love what y'all doing here, man. So y'all
Right
keep
on,
it up.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only gonna get better from here, man. We're excited about what we've been doing. We've made it already a whole year. I mean, this month actually is a year of us doing this, and we just kind of just stepped out on faith, man. We just got together and had the meeting of the minds, and kind of I laid out the concept for everybody. Everybody was ready to rock with it. So, man, we just been blessed by the grace of God to keep doing this. We've been doing this for a year. That was the first milestone, but the next milestone is just to make sure that we, stay consistent in the spirit of consistency, make it to our 100th episode, which we're not far from. So we thank you for being a part of the process, man. Yeah. So as you guys can see out there, you know what I'm saying, some people that start out just watching the pod end up being on the pod because, again, this is Watch Me Develop. We're not the only ones developing. We know many of you out there are developing different things, whether it be businesses, whether it just be you as a person that you're developing. We have people on here because we're regular people just like y'all, but we want to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. Yeah. And so that's what we do, man. We highlight that, celebrate it, and, talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's facts.
Josh, I'm gonna let you start things off with with brother Pat.
Pressure. Nah. All right, man. Well, shoot. I definitely want to let the people know that don't know. Patty G is also a 707 native.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot, I actually met him at Rodriguez High School. He hooped at Rod, was starting the whole time he was up there, ended up going to Menlo College for basketball.
Okay.
And after Menlo College, he ended up playing hoop professionally. We'll get into that a little bit.
What?
And then after that, bro, ended up getting into acting. And we'll definitely dive deeper into that as well.
Dive deeper into that.
So for those of you that go to the building, you know, Pat actually was just on the hoop team with us over here at the church league that we were just playing in.
Did they shatter y'all hoop dreams, man? Did y'all make it to the championship or
Nah,
what?
dog.
Nah,
We're not going to. Okay, that's off limits. Y'all told me what was off limits. Y'all asked me what's off limits. That's off limits.
It was definitely, it was good, man. It was fun. We could definitely dive into that as well. But before we do, I just want to let it be known that he definitely was the MVP. You feel me? The most valuable player on the squad. Bro was going crazy out there. And I think this episode, something that I really wanted to make sure we dove in and that I asked you was the importance of shooting your shot. Because you're someone in life who has not been afraid of, not shied away from shooting your shot. And I remember after you went to Menlo, sitting out on your porch one day, and you told me, you were like, I want to play for the Globetrotters. You remember that?
I do.
What?
Yeah, I do.
He was like, I want to play for the Globetrotters. And I was like, it was a dream that was so big. As much love as I had for Brad, it was too big for me. It was too big for me. And I was like, but I kept it to myself. I'm like, bro, the Globetrotters? It's like, are you sure? And he was like, no, yeah, I actually want to play for the Globetrotters. I think I could do it. You know, I've been talking to my dad about it. And it was a regular thing. And you're just a really big dreamer. So can you kind of shine a little bit of light on what enables you to dream so big and how that dream even came about?
The way I'm able to dream like that is probably stupidity.
Yeah.
If I'm being fully honest. Kind of maybe ignorance is bliss, you know, not really in my own head. There's been many Globetrotters before me. Why can't I be one?
Yeah.
Was pretty much the whole idea. And maybe I didn't go a normal path, but I was like, all right, well, what can my path be? This way didn't work. I didn't win a big dunk contest. I didn't go to a major school. You know, I didn't have a crazy like windmill dunk on a 7-footer, right? That would have helped. But that didn't happen. So, okay, where I'm standing right now, how can I get there? My last 2 seasons at Menlo, I only played 10 games. In 2 seasons, I played 10 games because of injuries. So I'm like, all right, how can I get over that hurdle?
Yeah.
Now I got to convince this team to pay me to play after 2 years being injured.
Yeah.
I just made the phone call, and I called him every day at 10:20.
Yeah.
I do not know how I got through, but I called. I was like, all right, well, Google, what's the number for the Harlem Globetrotters?
Yeah.
That's square one.
Yeah.
And I talked to a woman at the front. She was the receptionist. And I was like, hey, how you doing? This is what I'm trying to do. It sounds crazy, but who can I talk to for this? And she just started laughing. And I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
This is, okay, check this one off the box. And in my head, I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. This is awful. And she's like, all right, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to patch you through to the GM. He's going to tell you what to do.
That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
I'm like, oh, yeah, for sure. She clicks over. She clicks back. She goes, here he is. I'm like, hello? Hello? Yeah. I'm tripping because I'm like, there's no way I'm talking to the GM of the Harlem Globetrotters right now.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
We had like a 30-minute conversation, right? Like really just talk. He's like, what's up? So what are you trying to do? I was like, I'm trying to be a Globetrotter, dog.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. He's like, okay, tell me why. And I was like, well, why not? Are you serious? It's the best team in the world.
Yeah.
This is the best. This is the apex of basketball.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation. He goes, all right, man, let's, you send some footage. We'll talk about it. Okay, cool. I sent a whole package. I sent letters of recommendation. I sent a cover letter. I sent videos. I gave an interview. In the interview or in the video of why I'm going to be a great Globetrotter, the whole nine. Yeah. I did not just, well, here's me dunking. Right. That's part of it, but I want to give the whole thing. Here's my letter. Yeah. I called old coaches, teachers, anybody I could, anybody that was willing to write a letter of recommendation, they wrote a letter. I still got that thing.
Yeah.
And so I sent that off to him.
So you put together like virtually like a whole like press kit, like you
an entire press kit.
Yeah,
yep,
that's old school for y'all out there that are just like new to this as far as like you just send people tweets or Instagram and stuff like that. No, this back when you had to like put together a package to explain what who you are and what you're about.
Yeah.
So that's diligent, man. That's like super forward thinking as far as like what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So you sent them that, they get it, and then what happens?
So then I call him every day at 10:20 because that's the time that I talked to him the first time. So every single day I called him.
Intentional.
Just to let him know, hey, it's on the way. Click, hey, it's on the way. Hey, by the way, I just remeasured my vertical. It's 42 inches right now. Just want to let you know. Hey, I just did a between the legs dunk. Just want to let you know.
Sheesh.
Every single day at 10:20. I told him on the phone. He finally was just like, all right, well, we'll review it. And I said, look, I rock with you, dog. We've been talking. I'm not going to take no over the phone as an answer. You're going to have to tell me no to my face.
Consistency,
I said,
determination.
if you tell me no over the phone, I'm going to call you twice a day.
Like what Andy say? When I hear no, I hear maybe yes.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
I'm like, I'm sorry, dog.
Some baby steps, yeah.
For real. I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, all right, let me review it. We'll talk. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
He calls me. He says, all right, I'm going to give you a route to get to this. I'm like, notepad, talk to me. He goes, all right, you're going to play against us. You're going to be a Washington General. He goes, if you show well, it's good. I was like, when do I fly out? He's like, oh, well, you have to talk to that GM. I was like, make that phone call for me and tell him to call me. Or I'll call him. However you want me to do this, I will do this.
Yeah.
So I called them. We went back and forth. And I would say it was December 26th is when I signed. The way I signed, I sent another footage because they needed all this footage, all this stuff. I jumped through all these hoops. It wasn't as simple as make this phone call, that phone call. Hey, we'll sign you. It was about 4 months of me every week sending something, right? Constantly. Okay, send me a workout tape. Send me this, send me that. And I did. I was like, cool, I'll just send you my workout today. I'll just videotape it and send it to you, no problem. And I sent the last tape I sent. It was Tuesday at, I want to say it was like 7 o'clock our time, and he's in New York, or he's in New Jersey. So what's that, 10? 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, at night. So I'm on the phone. I said, okay, I'm going to email you the video, and then you just watch it. He goes, all right. He says, I'm going to have my official decision Monday morning. I said, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it. All right. It was a 5-minute video. He calls me back 6 minutes later and says my contract's in the mail.
Woo. Dang.
Wow.
That was, that call, literally I hung up the phone and I was nervous. I was like, oh my goodness. And I'll never forget, the video was 5 minutes. He called me on that 7th. It was the 7th. It was like literally 7 minutes. And I was like, what's he calling me for? I was like, oh, he's going to tell me he hates me. He's gonna tell me
Don't
that.
call me back.
Exactly. I'm blocking you, and I'm actually sending the police. That's. I just imagine the absolute worst case scenario, and he calls. The first thing he said was, "Who did your video?" And at the time, his name's Jason Carmen, the kid that did the video. He's gonna be coming up in a minute. He was in the 8th grade when he did that video for me. Right?
Yep.
So he did that video. And he said, "Who did the video?" And I was like, "Just some 8th grade kid." And he was like, "Are you serious?" He said, "This is the best, like, video, highest production. Like, we came in with music. I walked into the gym. I hit the lights at Rodriguez, and the lights went,
Yeah.
even though you turn them all on at one time,
Yeah.
I did it in order, like, and it do.
Dramatic effect.
And then I literally, for like 2 hours, tried to rip the rim off the backboard. Just dunked as hard as I could, shot half-court shots, did 360s, I was just like, I'm gonna go crazy. Because why not?
Yep.
What I got to lose?
One shot.
And he was like, this is amazing. I really liked it. He says, I just got to let you know, man, your contract's in the mail. Like, I'm going to drop it off right now at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was at the house like 2 days later. And I just looked at it, read it, and just kept reading it. And I was like, yo, this is crazy.
And how long ago was this?
That was 2013.
2013.
So
10 years ago.
Yeah. Don't do that.
And Patty,
Right, bro.
I want to pause you too, because it's like, you just said something, cause why not, right? And I think for our viewers out there, let this be your sign to go out there and make that phone call, send that email, hit that friend, ask for that letter of recommendation, like whatever it is that you need. I don't know what his name is. I'm terrible with names, but the guy who trained Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, he pretty much is one of the commonalities in regards to not just a fitness trainer, but a mental trainer that kind of helped them go crazy and get that dog mentality to go out there and get whatever it is that you have to get by any means necessary. And he kind of had a similar route to actually working with Michael Jordan, because he was a trainer at a facility that not many people knew about at the time. But he pretty much just sent letters. He said he sent out letters to everyone on the Bulls except Michael Jordan. Right. And at this time, it was strictly by mail, and it was like fan mail and mail just went straight into their locker. Either they got it or they didn't. Either they read it or they didn't. And at some point, Michael Jordan ended up hearing about these letters that everyone had gotten that he hadn't got.
And he's already like...
Right. And he ended up reading through. And in this letter, he pretty much talked about why he was qualified to be a trainer for the team, all the philosophy that he had in regards to kinesiology and how long he had been studying it, what his training methods are, just very detailed. And Michael ended up telling him later down the line that pretty much the process was he found it he went and grabbed the letter in someone else's locker, handed it to his trainer and said, go see about that guy. Find out what this guy is about. And he ended up becoming Michael Jordan's trainer that way by sending a letter. You know what I mean? And it's like...
So he sent the letter to everybody else?
To everyone else except Mike, because he didn't expect Mike to retire.
Right, but that's how you get the attention.
Exactly.
That's how you get the attention.
Everybody knows his competitive edge.
Right.
Like, how come I didn't get
how
Right.
come I didn't get one?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But it makes sense now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that was a brilliant move when he was just like, I'm not going to waste my time.
Right.
But did he really? Was that really his mentality though? Was that he wasn't going to waste his time?
No. I don't think that was what it was. I think it was more so he was really just trying to grab bruh's attention, and I mean,
because
I think that was like a chess move. Like for somebody who plays
if that
chess,
was a
that's
chess move, that's
Like,
crazy. That's a crazy.
But
chess move.
you know what though? We'll go back. I'm sure it's told multiple times, but regardless, bruh shot his shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He shot his shot, and the question is like, why not? Why not shoot your shot? Why not send that email? Why not make that call?
Now, something that's really interesting that I found is that most people, right? Human nature is they want to help somebody, right? Now you don't want to help. You want please help me. That's not what they want. But if you go to somebody, right? It doesn't matter, anybody, and you ask them straight up, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. Can you give me some advice?" Every producer, every studio head, every single person, every actor, every single person that I asked, right? In an industry I had no idea. They would tell me no, and I would just simply be like, okay, well then why did you say no? Or how can I route myself to a yes? Like, give me a process.
Yeah.
Every time. This is what you need to do, dude. This is, okay, look, this is what you're doing here. Do this. Every time.
It's like basically the ask isn't like, don't enable me, empower me so that I can make my own steps.
Exactly. And go into the situation looking for, if nothing else, look for knowledge of the situation, right? Because look, at the end of the day, when I first started, I know I'm kind of like jumping ahead. When I first started getting into acting, I knew I wasn't going to get a big studio, movie. That's not realistic, right? But I didn't want that because I wouldn't have been ready. So just ask questions. How do I get ready? Google it. It's right there. How to become an actor. And then you start calling people and they start giving you real game. All of a sudden, you have a bunch of cheat codes.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
So go back. Yeah. Because we're gonna get to the acting
Yeah,
stuff
my
in a
bad.
second.
You can see what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. So you get the contract. What happens next?
I fly to France. I flew into New York. February 2nd, I flew out. Flew to New York, and I met up with the whole team. And I met up, and I'm obviously hecka nervous. Cause like I'm like this new kid, everyone's looking at me like, what's up, newbie? Like, who are you? Like,
Were they welcoming? Like, how was it? Was it like a whole hazing process? What was it like?
They were mostly very welcoming. People are standoffish, especially with new people.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was a really big family. Like, it was like going to a family function. And you walk in, you're the new person at this family function, right?
Yeah.
So there was okay, well, how do you fit right into this, right? And ended up fitting well. Great, everybody was amazing, and I honestly can't say enough about that company, man. That whole everything is they're top chef's kiss, top tier for real.
Okay. And
It's
how
a
long
great
were you with
organization.
them?
Only for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I did my about 2 weeks before I fly out to my first tour, I tore part of my quad. Ooh. And this is going to be news to them when they watch it. But part of my contract is I can't show up injured. Because what people would do is they'd be injured, go out, and then get hurt.
Right.
No, I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we could cut that, that'd be tight. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But the contract, I couldn't show up injured, right? Because I have to play. So I was like, yo, I can't, I'm hurting. I can't jump. I'm hurting very bad right now. What can I do? So I literally just went to a massage therapist, like a sports massage therapist. And he told me what to do to like make it not hurt as bad. And then got a couple Advil and just played. And I was like, if it rips in half, it rips in half. I'm not going to sit here and go.
If he does, he does.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yo, I'm just going to, whatever. If nothing else, if this ends terribly, I did it. But I'm not going to not go. Right? So I played the first year on that injury. Got dunks, got everything I needed. Still was able to dunk. I just needed to jump a different way. That's it. I just needed to adjust the way I jumped. That's it. Right? It was a partial. It wasn't a full, it was just a partial ooh-wop. Just a little something. And then that next year, I said they're either going to hire me or fire me. I'm dunking everything. I'm going to try to rip the rim off. I'm going crazy. And so, yeah, I just did reverses, 360, just windmills, between the legs dunks, anything. Like, I'm going to get their attention. And I got their attention. And, yeah, so there was an opportunity that was coming up that I could possibly get a full-time gig with them. And about 2 weeks prior to that, I was super excited because a lot of the Globetrotters were really showing a lot of love, and which made me feel obviously good and made me feel validated in what I was doing. I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And I was like, all right, man, I got a possibility for an audition for this team. I'm like, man, dude, like, this is my dream since I was 10 years old. This kid's dream is about to come true, man. This is like, I can't even explain to you how that felt, man. Going against the grain, doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
And like still being able to get to my dream. 2 weeks before training camp, it was raining real bad. And
November 9th.
November 9th.
Yeah.
I got on the freeway and I got turned around on the freeway and a semi came and I went heads up with a semi.
What?
And yeah, I tore both my PCLs in my knees and I had to hang them up 2 weeks before potentially my dream came true. And that was crazy because nothing like that's ever happened. Nothing so overtly like that's gone now. I'm gonna take that. It's over. Now what are you gonna do, bruh? What?
Right.
Yeah.
But what's hecka funny is this is where acting comes in. My parents made me a deal my first year. They said, all right, we're going to make you a deal. When you leave, right, when you come, you could stay here. You don't have to move to an apartment that I'm never going to be in. You can stay here. But the rule is when you come back, you have to get a job, right? Oh, that makes sense. But the rule is I can't have a boss. If I have...
Hold on. Let that sit for a second. So your parents said that you can come back and live here, but
when
you
I'm
have to
during
get
the off season.
Yeah, but you have to get a job, but you can't have a boss.
If I have a boss, I have to move out. If I get a boss, they literally said you can't live here.
Curveball.
Wow.
Bruh, what?
Wow.
Talking about, dog, I tried everything. I tried opening businesses. I tried an app. An app? What? Watch me not develop. What? Are you kidding me? I tried so many different things. And now we're going, Jason Carmen calls me. And he's in the 9th grade at this point.
Hold on, bro. We got to talk about like this prodigy, like the
Bruh.
how his whole he's this 8th grade kid that won.
Yeah, he won a I don't even he did a video and it was for a class project and he entered it into a contest. And this contest was just a random contest that he thought that it was going to get sent into. It ended up getting shown to Obama because it was about education and it was about all these things and the CGI. And they said, look at the future of film, like with CGI and this and that. And he's cold-blooded. He's cold-blooded for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up winning. Didn't he win like a camera for that?
Did he? I totally forgot.
Hey,
But he did, like, he won a lot of things, a lot of contests. Because, I mean, he's amazing.
Where's he at? Is he out here?
He's from Vacaville.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing, like, knowing as we go through this story is, like, how the pieces of the puzzle for Pat literally came together. You know what I mean? Like, as he decided to go a direction, literally it would be like, my mom was talking to the dentist, and they know somebody who's a videographer. This kid, he's an 8th grader, but he's really dope. You know what I'm saying? And Pat really is someone who worked with what he had. Oh, you're in the 8th grade? You shoot? Come on, let's go. Oh, you do this? Hey, come on, let's go. It really didn't matter who it was or how much experience they had. It was like, if you're trying to rock, let's rock.
Yeah.
You know?
It's an interweaving, man. It's like your lives interweave at one point and then go on this trajectory and then end up circling back around because that knot was necessary. You had to go this route because this knot was necessary to hold all the rest of this that was put together. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's like that poem is like, life is but a weaving. It's like there's all these parts that come together and make this beautiful tapestry that we don't know, we can't see because we're not the ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: are your parents like entrepreneurs? Like, what made them say that?
Yeah, that's some
My parents are nuts.
that's some gangster stuff right there.
My parents are amazing. My dad was an HVAC tech for the school district. My mom was a bank teller for years, and then she became a real estate agent.
Okay.
And in 1 year, our lives totally changed from that. Like, she came into real estate. I forgot what year she went in, but she did really well. And she saw the possibility of being an entrepreneur, right? And doing it that route. And I think that's a piece of it. They're like, Pat's probably crazy enough to be an entrepreneur. So,
Bro,
right?
no, that's real, man, because I think that was part of what I think resonated with me when I first met you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you shared a little bit about that with me regarding that. And I've been like an advocate and a proponent of that for my kids.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like when you get a job, right? You get a 9 to 5. I know for me, I've never really been a 9 to 5 built person, but for the sake of being able to provide for my family, that's what I've done, and that's what I do right now, while in the process of working on what it is that I really want to do. Right? It's development, right?
Right.
And so for me, I've been adamant about telling my kids, like, look, man, I said, how do you guys feel when you've done everything that you're supposed to do and you want to go somewhere, and I tell you no? I was like, that's what it's like to work for somebody. That's what it's like to work for somebody. That's what it's like having a boss.
Yeah,
like I do all this. I execute on every task that I'm given. I do all this, but I can't leave to go to my daughter's award ceremony, or I can't leave to go here because all my work is done. No. Just a hard no, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so I'm gonna just stick around here doing nothing,
And kicking
or
it.
you're gonna reward me with more work because I did my work?
Right.
No, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's like working for somebody. And I'm like, you guys need to learn like what it is you're passionate about and run in that direction.
Yeah.
I'll pull you back in the slingshot and shoot you in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But yeah, like hearing what you said, that's a whole bar, like, for your parents to be like, look, you can come here and stay here, but if you got a boss, you got to go.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And I think that's like, because I know there's a linear route. There's steps that you took, right, to play for the Trotters, to act, right? And I want to get more into acting, but it's more so like I want to help people see like the mind, like the thought behind it, because it's hard to break out of the structured, go to school, get a good job. Like it's hard to break outside of that frame of mind.
Security.
And I'm sure there's possibly people, you feel me, who are gonna see this. This is all out in the interwebs. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram, it's like, oh man, you feel me? Well, you're white and you got all these possibilities. But knowing the backdrop behind like your parents, you feel me, and your dad, like I want you to speak a little bit about the like the dreaming exercise that you said that your pops would take you through, like to help cultivate the mentality of dreaming.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. Where do I even start? So when my dad, I remember we were talking about homes or we were talking about something. And I said something about a certain amount of cars in the garage. I said like 4-car garage. He said 4? What are you talking about 4? 4? Because that's all I've ever seen in my life. And it was the craziest house I ever seen in my life. That was, in my mind at that time, that was the house that I was thinking about was the apex. And the apex house that I've ever visually seen had 4 garages, right? So he says, oh, we're dreaming? No. You don't get to put limits on your dream. You don't get to do that. If we're in La La Land, let's go all the way.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Here. Like,
we're here. Why are we going to put limits on this?
Yeah.
That's not fun. How many, like, he had me list all the cars I want. List them. Okay. Well, there's 30 right there. What are you going to do? 4 cars? You going to put all the rest of them outside? So you got to get a warehouse. Right? You got to get at least a big warehouse, so think about that. I know you want a basketball court. Maybe you can have the warehouse with the cars and the basketball court. Let's Google something to see
Maybe you can dunk over the car.
Maybe you can dunk over the car. See what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like,
He said Porsche. But he was like, let's look and see if anyone's ever done this before, right?
Yeah.
And people have. And we can see what other people's stuff is. I love Ferraris, right? Ferraris is everything, right? Just so happens that my college, Menlo, is less than a mile right next to a Ferrari dealership. I was there a lot. But my dad would always, all right, let's go see them. Let's touch them.
Exposure.
They're real.
Yeah.
My mom, when she got into real estate, she's the GOAT. Oh my gosh. She would take me to these homes in the hills. And we'd walk around, and there was elevators in these homes. Like, there was an elevator in a home. What? This is a office building. Like, you have an elevator?
Yeah.
And we would walk around these amazing homes, and what my mom would do is, all right, if this was your house, what would you do? This is your room. I'd be like, oh, my bed would be here. The TV I don't have would be here. I would do this, I would do that. And she constantly did that. Any home that was crazy, she would be like, all right, well, I come check this out. Come check this out, come check this out. Amazing views. Remember the 4-car garage that it was part of that of that group. And this was all in Fairfield.
Yeah.
You know, my Fairfield, I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Well, this is the Suisun Valley.
right.
I was like, yo,
This isn't Pintail.
Facts.
this is not West Fairfield. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
I do not feel in danger.
Right.
But it was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh. And she was showing me all this, right? The exposure, seeing that these things are real. And then as I got older, I got introduced to the people who own these things. And I started breaking bread with them.
Yeah.
And realizing, oh, they're just as crazy as I am. There's nothing, like, they're amazing people. But they're no different than anybody in this room.
Yeah.
They're no smarter. They're no greater than anybody in this room.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody in this room is greater than anybody else. That's
Yeah.
kind of the point, right? And if somebody did it, whatever the goals are in this room, you're totally capable of doing it. You know, you got brains in your head and feet in your shoes.
Yeah.
You keep pushing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the idea. And that's kind of where that cultivated, where they just like, okay, if we're going to dream, let's just go crazy.
Yeah.
I felt like a science experiment where it's just, it's just like, let's just talk positively and speak life into this goal, into these dreams, and see what happens.
Yeah.
What's that worst that's going to happen? that it doesn't work. You know how much stuff has not worked in my life? This is it most likely won't work.
Yeah.
So whatever, if it does or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, in regards to our friendship, that's been one of the like greatest lessons that I've learned, because I feel like Pat is that's my nuts friend. That's my crazy friend. The one who dares to dream to become an actor. Like who do we, when you don't know someone who's done something, a lot of times you start to like, you bat those dreams out of your head. Like, nah, like even when you were just talking about the cars and let's list them out. Well, then you need a warehouse. For some people, that exercise, that mental exercise is literally uncomfortable. And the only thing that people hear as they're going through those thought processes is that would never work. But the importance in knowing your dad personally, to have someone inside your home that cultivates that, you know, and encourages you within those dreams. Because for a lot of people, it's the people closest to them that say, oh, no, you should never do that. You should just go get a job and go do it this way. And for those people that do that, like, not even a knock to it, but the people that will just pour life and speak life into your dreams, you know? And I think, like, you're one of the most wildly optimistic people that I know. You know, even when I was talking crazy about the leash and I'm going to go get the span, like, you were the one that was like, nah, yeah, bro. Go ahead and do that. You could definitely do that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, go ahead and get a few, you know? And to watch, like, the childlike, I've always said that you was a childlike dreamer. You know, Pat to get a no and work around and get to the next person that says no. And the next person, and the next person, the next person, until he finally gets a yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a heavy persistence and a not willing to, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And I think that's something that anybody can grasp from and start to utilize that in their frame of thinking and their way of life.
Yeah.
So where did the dream of acting come from after the car accident?